It's good, gang. Notice anything different? Nah, let me stop. I just been working on myself, honestly. And I haven't vlogged since the last time I vlogged, which was October. To be completely honest, I have no clue where this is gonna go, but I feel like this is the time to do it. I don't know, it just feels not so forced. A lot of things have happened this year, and yeah, I got a story to tell, and I know YouTube loves story times. So this one's finna be crazy. It's finna be a crazy story for y'all. I've learned a lot. I feel like I became a whole new version of me in a better sense. I guess I could say I'm proud of myself because, you know, I've been through situations where people would have folded. You know what I'm saying? People would have folded. People would have folded, bro. And that's not to say that it's wrong to do so, because we're human. We all handle stuff differently. But after I get through these things, how my 2024 went, hopefully it opens up some eyes. Hopefully it touches the right people. And if you know me personally, my past and everything, hopefully you can latch that on to what I'm about to tell you, what happened this year and everything. I'm trying to inspire some people because I know I'm not the only one that's been through some of the stuff that I've been through, even the craziest situation, which we'll get to. But so I'm not gonna do too much yapping. I want to get to the story time, but this is a recap of my entire 2024. All right, I'm gonna go through it all. It's a lot to take in, so be ready. Before I do get into it though, I just want to say being strong in your faith, doing a lot of reflection, actually reflecting. I don't know if people really be reflecting like they say they do, but I'm talking like you ain't got to go to this extent, but I'm talking I was staring in the mirror, looking at myself. I was staring in the mirror, asking myself questions. And critical thinking is what I had to do to get over a lot of this stuff. So let's get to it. All right, so boom. We're gonna have to go a little bit back, all right? Just a little bit back before 2024. Let's go, I don't remember if I got out of the military in November of 21 or November of 22. I wanna say it was November of 22. That would make the most sense. All right, so boom. I am in a relationship for quite some time, although it was on and off. And I was transitioning to get out the military. And before transitioning and before officially getting out, me and the person I was in a relationship with, we had broken up for a minute. Like I said, it was on and off. So we had broken up for a minute. And there was a point in time where we were broken up for like 2-3 months. I'm talking, I met someone totally different, and I don't know what she was on, but I mean, judging from the past, probably was doing her own thing too, right? And then it didn't feel right to me. The person I was dealing with at the time, it just didn't resonate with me. We couldn't click. So I cut that off and then went back to my ex. And that was all cool. We was chopping it up or whatever. And before she made the decision to actually move back in type shit, we hung out one night. We had a good night. And I'm pretty sure you could guess what a good night ends in. So yes, that happens, and she said the magic words. Now, to be fair, I'm smart. I use this head right here more than most of times. Like, I'm B up here. Those magic words, you could probably guess. I ended up planting the seed, but before I did that, I stopped. Told her straight up, hey, gonna have to take a plan B. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're getting out the military. Can't have nothing mess that up. And she agreed. She was like, bet, got you. I ain't want to ruin the night. It felt good. It felt like we was finally getting on our shit. We was done with the on and off shit. I was like, bet. And she's taking them before, so whatever. I just needed to hear that confirmation before I proceeded. You know what I'm saying? And the next day comes around. I mention it, and she turns it down, right? It gets better. She turns it down. Now, for a while, we're going back and forth. I'm trying to fight. I'm like, ain't no way you just did this. Ain't no way. And eventually, I let it go. She was like, look, I'm good. Here's my period tracker. We good. Low risk. And I was like, you know what? You're a woman. You know your body better than I do. I'm going to take your word for it. We should be good. Fast forward, she claims that she's noticing that the time of the month is coming around. Or like she notices that it's time. This is happening. She's like, see, I told you we're good. I was like, bet, you was right. This is why I trusted you. And then it turns out that I think it was just a little bit like spotting or whatever. And eventually I just don't hear nothing. You know what I'm saying? I just don't hear nothing about it. I heard it that one time, and then turns out that it was just spotting or whatever, and then nothing else. So one day she goes to work, but she's feeling sick and all that, saying she threw up, she wasn't feeling right, and that she was gonna go take a pregnancy test, right? And I'm over here like, oh my goodness, man, please don't be pregnant. I trusted you, you said that we would be good. At the end of the day, I know I'm responsible as well. I didn't have to do that, even though she said it, so I understand that. So she ends up taking the pregnancy test. We can't really tell, we're texting at this point. And later on that day, she was like, I'm just gonna do an electric one, which is fair. It's too much trying to look at those two lines, bro, trying to see, it was just too much. Cause one be fading and stuff like that, and one be faintly there. And I'm like, bet. She's like, I'm gonna go with my sister, we'll take it. I'll come home and let you know what's up. I was like, cool. So it was building up, the anticipation, and boom, I hear her coming through the door. That's it, I'm about to see. But not only did she come through the door, I see her sister following behind her. So at this point, and maybe I could have reacted differently, maybe I could have, but at this point, it's not a surprise, right? With me saying that, y'all can already guess that the test is obviously positive, because why would she bring her sister with her, you know what I'm saying? So she was still trying to play it like it was a surprise, and I just wasn't going for it. She tried to hand me the box, like, look, and I was like, no. I was like, there's no reason to. It's obvious you're pregnant. And I was more mad at the fact that she had brought her sister with her and tried to make it a surprise still. It was like, why would you bring your sister? So I was hot, I'm not gonna lie. And then I was also pissed off at the fact that I told her that she needed to take a contraceptive, and then she told me she would and turned it down. And then it turns out that she ends up pregnant. So I was just thrown off. I know what I did. Once again, I'm responsible for what I did at the end of the day. But in the time, putting my trust into my significant other, a lot of emotions, and then having a bystander just there, it was just all that put together. I wasn't too happy. It's just me versus two women, and if you've ever been in that situation, you know how that can be. I'm getting double teamed, and her sister's justifying everything, and I'm just like, bro, no, well, what you did isn't okay. Like, yes, I know I'm responsible for what I did, but what you did just wasn't okay, right? So for a while, I ended up in a depressed era. Very depressed, bro. Very. I wasn't eating, I was sleeping all day, didn't want to do anything. I've never been that low before. I've been low before, but never that low before. It was depressing, because I wasn't ready to have no kid, nothing like that. And it really sucked, I'm not gonna lie. Didn't really have no one there with me. I didn't have friends like that, for real. And there was a point in time where my parents were not on my side. They were not helping. I guess she was like running off telling my parents things, and they just believed it at the time, and I don't blame them for it. So time goes on. I'm like, well, damn, I better enjoy these 9 months while I got it, because I'll try to chill right now. And then as the 9 months gets closer and closer to ending, I'm gonna go ahead and start to lock in. So first month ain't even done yet. I got time, I better grind. I was doing my music heavy. I was really grinding on my music, and I had dropped, and if anyone's tuning in and has listened to my music, I had dropped Full Circle that year. Another thing that I gotta mention is, like, no one knew. Well, no, that's not true. Very little people knew that she was pregnant and that I was assumed to be dad. Very few people knew. Even after the fact, very few people knew. So I was doing all this as if nothing was going on to anyone that I didn't tell. Like, I was just being normal, moving at regular speed. Now that I think about it, no, sorry, I got that wrong. I dropped my album in June. Let's go ahead and fast forward. Look, we was going through it while she was pregnant, her mood swings, stuff like that, obvious stuff. Boom, fast forward to giving birth. Crazy day. I had a friend here with me visiting for the summer, and I was like, you could just stay here till I become a dad. So she ended up giving birth in July. I was at the hospital, and boom, baby's born. Unbelievable, couldn't believe it. I'm like this is it, like damn, finally here. And it was just wild. It was just a wild thing. Like, dude, you're a dad now, right? So fast forward, she finally gets to come home with the baby, and things are not going the best. Postpartum stuff like that does exist. I'm doing my best to, stay calm and, make it a safe space. And things just still weren't going well. But after a while, she kind of started to calm down and just let me do my piece or whatever. And I remember chilling at my setup right here, and baby was in the Mamaroo contraption thing that automatically rocks them and stuff while they're asleep. He was just sitting there, and I was just staring. I was just staring like this. And then something came over me, and it was just like, it's gonna be okay. You're fine. Lock in. It's going to be okay. This isn't going to be difficult to deal with. It's a child. It's not the end of your life. You will be okay. And I was like, you know what? That's right. And I finally started to own more and more that I was a father. The whole depression and stuff kind of went away. I was like, we're here now. You can't do anything other than step up. And I locked in. I was like, you know what? You're right. So I locked in. Like, I just accepted the fact. Now, I didn't run off, and this goes back to my other vlog when I was talking about staying private and stuff. A lot of people didn't even know. I will say 99% of people that know about me, or I know social media or whatever, didn't know that a kid was ever a thing with me. Very small amount of people knew. I could probably count on two hands how many people actually knew, right? So me and her, we're getting better and stuff, but at the same time, my mom will be very defensive of her child and everything. So I was just trying to understand that and learn that as well, while still trying to be helpful. I'm not gonna drag that out too long, but eventually, we're on and off all the time. We're on and off, and this is still going even when the baby's born. So on and off, and eventually it leads to a point where we are off for good. And this results in her moving out, taking her stuff with her, moving back with her people, and done. We're done living together. We're done being in a relationship. We're just gonna co-parent at this point. We had been like that for at least a year, or over a year, almost two. And we finally had a good schedule going when I would pick up baby from daycare, this and that. I would get her on some weekends, Saturday, stuff like that. So we had a good schedule going on, and I was just sticking to my schedule, all I was doing. And it was like that for a while. Now, this is where we get to all the things that started to happen around 2024, right? So I'm on the schedule now. Got a kid, not with my ex no more, doing my own thing, sticking to the schedule. Boom, I had met someone late 2023 who was vibing, kicking it off for months. Keep that in mind. Let's go into 2024. January of 2024, I go negative 5,000 in my bank account due to a scam. And the worst part about it is it started off negative 2.5K, but then, scam did its work and it doubled by the next morning. That's what destroyed me up here. You know what I'm saying? And it's like when you already are struggling or already don't have money, and then the fact that kid, man, how am I supposed to, how can I be a father and I'm sitting here negative 5K in the bank? I was like, what am I going to do, bro? And I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna keep it real with you, man. I rarely cry. When I say I couldn't do nothing but break down and cry at that moment, year just started, negative 5K in the bank. Ain't no way I can make that up. I was stuck. I was like, what am I going to do, bro? What am I going to do? And I have a whole kid, you know what I'm saying? So negative 5K in the bank. And I'm calling my parents, and shout out to my parents. They've helped me through so much, so many times. I've had $0 in the bank, couldn't pay for rent. They was right there helping me out. So shout out to them. So I called them, but they was like, we cannot help you this time. Respect. Y'all have helped me so much. And at this time, how old am I? At this time, I'm 24, and I'm still messing up like this and still getting myself into stuff. Couldn't even blame them. And I just broke down because I didn't know what to do. But that same day, I just and you should never just pray only when things are bad, okay? You should pray when it's bad, good, ain't nothing happening. At that time, there was nothing going for me, and I had to pray. I prayed to God and I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I need something. I'll do anything to get out of this. And prayer works. It works for me. God be listening. I gotta be honest, He be listening. And whether it's the universe does its thing too, but overall God, you know what I'm saying? He made me realize that I do have a hustling mindset. If I want something, I'm gonna go get it. And He did that I remember trying to sign up for DoorDash like a year or two ago, and the app just wouldn't let me sign up. It was messed up or whatever. I was finally able to sign up. It went through. I remember signing up, and within an hour, I had my account and I could get out there and DoorDash. So that's exactly what I did. I had to make this 5K back somehow. My parents said that they were done helping. Wasn't nobody gonna loan me that amount of money to make back or whatever. So I had to get out there and bust my ass in some way, shape, or form. I needed cash quick, and boom, DoorDash. It was available. When I say I was DoorDashing, and keep in mind, I have a full-time job. I work from 8 to 4:30, 8 to 4:30. If I wasn't doing DoorDash, I do overtime, right? So when I got off at 4:30, I thought I would give myself some time to get ready mentally and stuff like that. And I'd be out the crib by 5:30, DoorDashing until 12, 1 in the morning. Maybe that's a reach, maybe not 1 in the morning, but at least like 10, 11, 12 at night. And I can't make this up. And I was doing this for weeks straight, days, weeks straight. I had to. And that's when I realized that God was teaching me a lesson. He humbled me with the negative 5K. That was a humbling moment. But then He also showed me that I do have a hustler mindset. I have a grinder mindset. Because the way that I got up every day and went out there right after work, DoorDash and making that money, I think I made $1,000 in just about a week. In just about a week, I was able to make $1,000 off DoorDash. I said, oh nah, I figured something out. I was like, I got this. Now it kind of sucked though, because I was like, how am I gonna fit my music and stuff into all this and doing what I want to do on top of all this? But I ain't gonna lie, not even to be dramatic or nothing, but I got this tat, and this tat is something that my dad has told me before I shipped out to the military. Suffer now, prosper later. That's just what it was. Suffer now, prosper later. So I was worried about, how am I gonna keep my music going? When am I gonna have time for myself? But I was such in the grinder mindset that I didn't even care. I was like, hold on, I found a money glitch kind of. Yes, I gotta put in work, but dude, when you just riding around, and then in my city, everything is close together. People literally be 5, 3, 2 minutes away from the restaurant, and you getting paid to drop off their stuff. It is nothing. It is nothing. It is literally nothing to me. And I just cruise around, be on FaceTime with people, or just jamming out. It don't even matter. But yes, that's what I had to think about. I was like, suffer now, prosper later. I'll figure that out later. I have a goal that I need to meet. I got to get rid of this negative 5K in my bank account. So we're doing that, and I'm having fun with it. I'll be ready. I didn't even want to play the video game no more. I didn't really care about the music because I knew that it would come. I just needed to clear this negative 5K out before I worry about anything else. We're grinding. Boom. My dad makes a deal with me. Shout out my dad. He was going to clear out the rest, and instead of paying the bank, I paid him. So by the ending of January, all that was done with. I think I also started school. So, military, blah, blah, blah. Check came in, went straight to him. We cleared it out. I think it was a week or two. It didn't even take the whole month. I think just a week or two of grinding, and this all got handled. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thankful that the military benefits definitely came in clutch. Without that, I definitely don't know what I would have done, right? But thankfully, I was in school, signed up for classes that semester, and I was grinding on top of that, and I had my regular job. So I had 3 sources of income coming in monthly. You know what I'm saying? So, boom, that was a lesson learned from God Himself. Humbled. Found out I had a grinding mindset, a hustler mindset. I got to it, and then I made it out that same month. Amazing. And that's really that story. I know I have that, so I'm proud of myself when it comes to stuff like that. Now, fast forward the next month, February, that person I met, we fell out over some stuff. And this is where I had to learn detaching. What I learned in January and what I learned in February, they go together. The whole plan was not to catch feelings for this person, but we just vibed. And you know, when it's a vibe, it's gonna hurt whether you attached or not. But at that point, you technically are attached. Either way, I had to detach because they were no longer around, right? So detaching, boom, kind of went into a small little, like, you know, sadness state for some time, and it didn't feel good. If you've ever been through that, heartbreak or just being ghosted or whatever it is along those lines that you've been through, you understand what I mean. It was not easy, but I had to do it quick. So I just went with the motions. Eventually I got over it, but it took some time, right? Boom, fast forward the following month, March. This is where things get juicy. This is where shit starts to get crazy, man. I'm feeling a little better, but it's still just me in the bed most of the time. Not really doing much, just working and doing nothing for real other than working. I'm just door dashing and doing my full-time job, right? So I'm chilling on the weekend. It's Easter weekend, and I went and picked up some pizza, the little pizza things for Little Caesars. Bitch is good. Anyways, I went and picked those up, and I got a text from my ex saying that they was at some event at the park. So I want to come and see my kid. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, since I'm already out, let me go and do that. So I pop out there, and it's a lot of people. I guess it was just some type of Easter event. I don't even know. But yeah, I pop out, but I felt, I don't know, something felt off that day, and me and my ex exchanged a lot of words, okay? Not good ones either. And I ended up leaving, right? Because I was just like, this is stupid, I'm leaving. Word got around, her family members were on my phone, this and that. I didn't even do nothing though. I really didn't. But whatever, we let that go. So I think that following week, I think I was trying to FaceTime her or I was on FaceTime with her, and weird things were, I was just moving a little different. Like I was trying to talk to her. She wasn't really being respectful. She wasn't really being nice. And I was just telling her, why do you talk to me like that? Why do you treat me like that? It's very concerning. What have I done? I don't be doing this to you, but you do it to me. And then something came over me, made me say, I wasn't even referring to anything, but I was just like, you might want to chill out on the disrespecting me because you just never know what's gonna happen. You need to humble yourself. Stop being so disrespectful and treating me this type of way. And I don't know why I was saying that. I was like, you just don't know, do you? And I didn't really, she was like, what don't I know? And I'm like, I didn't have an answer because I don't know, I just said it. But I felt it, so it came out. And I kid you not, within that same week, I get a call from my dad. And at this point, we've been doing so long on the schedule and everything, and she hasn't been living with me for so long that my head is starting to clear up a little bit more. My dad numerous times has said this, but now that I'm in a clearer mindset, he calls me one day on the phone and he's like, hey, you can already guess where this goes. Hey, I think you should still get that DNA test. I'm not worried about that, right? I never did one from the start. I'm just not worried about that. I know I planted the seed from the story I said earlier. I did, she didn't take the plan B. I don't even need, I just don't need that. It's obvious. He's like, you should do it. So I go on CVS Online. They're having, surprisingly enough, they're having a deal where if you order online, you can get 20% off. So boom, I bought the self DNA testing kit when it picked it up. So the following day was my turn to go pick her up from daycare. So I go and do that, and I'm like, this is perfect. I can administer this test. She ain't gotta know about it. We gonna do it. So I administer the test and send the stuff off. So now it's just a waiting game. But I'm over here just gonna say that she's mine. I've already owned up to it. I've already been past the depressed stage, not owning up to my responsibilities. Anyways, I'm just doing this so my dad can get his verification as well. I just felt crazy kind of doing it because I'm like, she's mine. So later that weekend, it was a Sunday. I remember I was cooking, I was making hamburgers. I finally get the notification on my phone that the results are in. I stopped cooking. I'm already knowing what it's gonna say. I've owned up to it. It's been over a year, you know what I'm saying? So I get on my computer, set up right here. I go ahead and pull it up. And to my surprise, it says the probability of paternity is 0%. Jaw dropped. I'm just like, am I reading this right? 0? Hold on, because I was expecting 100. I was hoping that it would be 100 because I'm like, if it's a 0, that's just gonna be too much stuff going on up here. I had to verify. I hit up my dad. I'm like, please, I got the results. I'm about to email them to you. Stay on the phone. Let me know if I'm reading this correctly because this doesn't make sense. He verifies. He's like, no, you're reading it correctly. It says 0. Shout out to my dad. He was there every step of the way. He said, now what you need to do is go get an official one done. Well, we chopped it up for a little bit. He was like, are you sure you did it right? Are you sure? I'm like, I read the instructions. I did it correctly. Maybe I did mess it up though. Let's hope I did, because for it to say 0 is crazy. So he's on it. He's like, hey, I found a place. This is where you need to go get an official one done. Ran my pockets. So I went ahead and I found a day to pick her up from daycare and then go and get it done officially. And I remember that day, it was crazy. The daycare people apparently reached out and snitched that I took her out early and I ain't never done that before. And it was just a whole mess, but I had to stay vigilant type shit. But I remember strictly, I got there and it said that it was closed, right? And I read the signs. The lady was at some doctor's appointment or something. And from the looks of it, it was closed the entire day. I'm like, oh my goodness, I have to call around. I have to figure something out because I probably won't be able to get away with doing this again so easily. You know what I'm saying? Not trying to sound like I was sneaking around, but like, knowing who my ex was at the time and everything, this was not going to be something that I can get done easily. And my name is on the birth certificate. I have the right to do this. So it's not like I was hurting nobody. Like, I was just trying to get answers, right? It seemed as if she was gone the entire day, but she wasn't gone the entire day. For right when I was about to give up and leave, she pulled up next to me and unlocked the place. And I was like, oh my goodness, thank you. Another blessing. So we go ahead and we go in there and she's getting everything set up. I pay the money or whatever. And then she administers the test. I'm paying attention to how she did the test to make sure I didn't do nothing wrong. And let me tell you, when it started to settle in that she was doing it the exact same way that I did it, I was like, oh shit, bro. Oh my. I was like, uh-oh, this ain't good. So some time went on. I think it was like a little over a week. The results were delayed because, what was it, Good Friday? It was Good Friday week that I think I did the test, the week of Good Friday. So I didn't get the results till that following week after that holiday. And it's crazy because I kept my mouth shut the entire time. My dad told me to keep my mouth shut. I did. Kept my mouth shut the entire time. So finally, I get the results. I finally do. I call my dad before I open the email. I'm like, all right, I got them. I haven't looked at them yet. You ready? He's like, yeah. It said 0% signed with a doctor signature on it. It said 0%. I just remember that day. It was early in the morning. It was crazy. I was like, 2 confirmations. Damn. I'm healed from it now. That's why I'm talking to y'all about it now. I never would have thought I would have been going through something like that. My life's really a movie, for real. I just stay quiet about shit. I don't be saying much. But that happened, and like I said, my dad was with me every step of the way. He was like, okay, next is lawyer time. He found me a lawyer just like that, and they happened to live right around the corner. I didn't have to go far. He was like, you need to set up a consultation with him and see what you can and can't say, see what you can and can't do before you say anything to anybody. So again, I stayed down, I stood on business, I didn't say nothing to nobody. That Friday was the consultation, and I asked him everything. I was like, can I say something? What can I do? What can I not do? And he confirmed that I didn't have to keep supporting, I didn't have to do anything, and I could tell them and then just stop everything I'm doing. So I proceeded to do it that same day. I think I reached out to the grandma first, and then I sent a paragraph to my ex, and that was that. The paragraph basically was me saying, look, I don't want any answers. I'm not asking any questions. The proof is right here. I sent a screenshot of the test, the official one. I'm not picking her up no more. Like, she's not mine. There's a lot of factors within the relationship and stuff like that, but that right there is the biggest thing. That is what happened this year. I found that out in March of this year. And now I guess we can just fast forward to like, what did I do next? Let me tell you, bro, something like that, It's crazy. I ain't even gonna lie, because I'm thinking almost 2 years. And that's even including the pregnancy, because I was there for the pregnancy. They're almost over 2 years, whatever. I didn't know what to do. Imagine thinking you are a father for that long, having responsibilities, and then having it stripped away. When I say that was my main thing filling up my schedule, it was. I was in school too, but school is school. And I do mainly online classes, one in-person class, 1 day a week. It was nothing, but that was a big responsibility. That was a lifetime responsibility to have it and then get it stripped away from you. Having nothing but free time. I didn't know what to do. Dude, I had nothing but free time. So it really resulted in me staying in bed a lot and just thinking and thinking and thinking and feeling some type of way and feeling some type of way and thinking and not getting closure and not getting a response after I sent that text. It was just like, what do I do, bro? What do I do? It's crazy. I want to say near the ending of May, beginning of June, one of my old friends that I'm cool with was back in town, and she had stopped by and she was checking in on me, like, what's going on, how you been? And other than the people that I told through the phone or whatever, she was the first person around me around here to know what was going on. So I told her, and she was like, oh, hell no, we definitely got to get you out. And I appreciate her for that 100%, because she was like a Kickstarter to me transitioning into this new life again. Shout out to her for real. We had went out to the club, made friends because she was socializing, and then those friends introduced me to other friends, and it was cool. I'm usually introverted. I don't like going out, but I need to get outside of this crib. I've been going through too much this year, right? The summer was fun. I was active. I had people around me, and I even went to Miami. We ended up doing the court thing. We finally got court set up, and that was the last week of July. It's funny because my friend flew down that same week. I think he flew down the day of the court hearing, and we ended up leaving for Miami that Friday. So it was kind of like a good little getaway after finally finalizing all this stuff. All these thousands that went into the lawyer and stuff like that. Money I had to pull out my ass. I could finally get away, and we finally got our name off the birth certificate. We're done dealing with it. I'm doing something, stepping out my comfort zone. That was a 9-hour drive, bro. It was hell, but like, what else was I gonna be doing? There was nothing else to do. I had nothing but free time. Linked up with some of the other boys, music gang and shit like that, and it was fun. I needed to do it. I needed to get out, and that was crazy to do, thinking about it. But in the time, I was just doing it. I deserve it. You deserved a vacation, and that wasn't even enough. I deserve more, honestly. But we've been working on that. But yes, that is what my 2024 has been, right? But I'm not even saying that shit didn't get better. Shit did get better. After a while, I just kind of transitioned my mindset. That's why I made the video, Don't Crash Out. A lot of people would have crashed out in my situation. Tell me I'm lying. A lot of people would have. When I say I just stayed by myself, a lot of people wouldn't have. For 3 months until I felt like I was ready. I was alone, and I've always been good at being alone. It doesn't bother me. Being alone isn't sad. It's a time for you to think and not have all these extra noises in the back of your head. You can really reflect and think and act on things how you would act on them and not how someone else would act on it. But for 3 months straight, I didn't have no girl around. I was barely talking to anybody. I wasn't really working on no music. And I can honestly say, man, after all of that reflection and after the summer ended and I started to lock in with myself, I think I watched a couple of videos on YouTube about just having high energy and stuff like that, and how it's not what other people make it. It's just straight up energy. You changing your mindset. Once I saw them videos, the SGP West video is how it started, and then I found someone else on YouTube. I'm gonna have to find his account. Once I watched them videos, I just woke up. The anxiety, the social anxiety that I had doesn't exist anymore, because I realized I made my own anxiety. I was scared to go into the grocery store because I thought everyone was staring at me, but I made this up myself, personally me. It was a me thing, personally. I understand anxiety is very real. It very much is. But for me, I don't know. I just had something where I thought everyone was looking at me and they probably weren't. And they probably could care less. And it just took me a while to finally wake up and realize that. But after really thinking and just finally breaking out of that shell and realizing that I have my entire life back, God gave me my entire life back. I could either sit here and mope around about what happened, or I got my entire life back and I can use it. You know what I'm saying? This doesn't happen often. Most people, if you having a kid, you're in it. But I got a second chance, bro, to really make this right. I'm not wasting that. And I feel like part of that, I'm at the highest level that I've ever been at. But I feel like the last thing that I really needed to do was put this story out there. Because I want to inspire people. I want to let people know that there be some real shit going on. The internet's cool or whatever, but they hide things. No, I'm keeping it real and raw. That's what I went through this year, but I still made it out. Again, a lot of people would have crashed out and I did not, bro. I'm proud of myself, bro. I wasn't scared to be alone and actually sit there and stare in the mirror and think, bro. Even though that wasn't my fault, I was still staring in the mirror saying, what can I do different? And that's not even on no, like, oh my goodness, what did I do wrong for her to do that to me? No, it was just, I know I wasn't a perfect person in that whole relationship. I knew there was things I could work on. I know there's things I can work on outside of a relationship. What can I do to better myself for either, not even for the next person that comes around, but just for me, because I have my entire life back. I can't be the same person I was before. I've learned things. I've been through things. God has taught me lessons. That's what all that reflecting was. And when I felt like I was ready enough, my friend popped up out of nowhere saying she driving back down here for the summer for a little bit. It was just timing. The timing, God's timing. You hear that all the God's timing is perfect. It is impeccable, bro. Those 3 months I took, I was finally ready right before the summer. I was like, I think I can start getting out now. And then she hit my phone. Hey, guess what? I'm driving down. I'm coming back. This is crazy timing, bro. It's okay. You will make it out, whatever the situation is, man. I've been through some stuff, bro. A lot of my situations come from relationships and stuff. I'm not gonna lie. But on top of that, like I said, the money issue, dude, I've been through some stuff and a lot of people would have never known because I don't speak on it. I don't. But this is me finally opening up. I say this in a good way. I don't care anymore. Not in a nonchalant, I don't care. No, I just don't care anymore, as in like being scared about doing what it is I want to do. Pushing my music 100%, doing these vlogs and YouTube at 100%, this and that. Oh, what if they don't like it? Oh, what are they gonna say about me? That whole situation I went through in March up until the ending of July, it opened my eyes. Free will, I realized free will is a thing and I control my universe, basically. I control my life. If I don't make it where I want to be, it's my fault. Someone hating shouldn't be enough to stop me because that means I don't want it bad enough. And someone hating is just them hating. They cannot physically stop you from doing whatever it is you want to do. So as long as you grinding and doing what you want to do, you gonna get it. And that's literally me. Like I said, all the lessons I learned were put together. I learned that I was a grinder and I had a grinder mindset in January. February, I had to learn how to detach. Boom, March, that happened. So I had to learn how to detach from something at a bigger scale than just a relationship. I had to detach bonds that I made. Look, I don't know when this is coming out. I don't know how I'm gonna do an editing style on this, but I'm just trying to keep it real, bro. I'm only saying this, I'm only telling this story because not a lot of people know about me. I don't speak a lot, but that's over with. I have plans, I have goals, and I just want y'all to know that you can get out of whatever you are in, and this ain't gonna stop me. This didn't stop me. I'm strong, very resilient. I'm very resilient. Through everything that I've been through, I found a way out. And that's you too. You just find it in you. But there's a bigger reason for all that happening. So many people would have thought that my 2024 was just terrible. It was shitty. But nah, it started off bad, yes, it did. But there was a bigger thing to it. And I just feel like I've unlocked the higher version of myself. I've never been this vocal. But I'm a vocal person. I get told that my voice is soothing. I should start podcasts. I have a radio voice, this and that. I speak fluently, this and that. I should have been using my voice. And maybe that's what God wants for me. He wants me to use my voice. And that's why I feel like music is amazing. And two, me starting YouTube and live streaming and vlogging and stuff like that, it's a way to use my voice. And that's actually my goal. I want to use my voice to empower people, inspire people, help people with all different types of things. To this day, people come to me for advice. All types of people, men, women, younger, older. They come to me for advice because I stay level-headed. And I feel like everyone should have someone like that in their life. Because I'm going to see both sides, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to see both sides and give you the best outcome. I'm never going to tell you to do something that's going to mess you up. And I can honestly say that I can say that. I can say that because I did it my damn self. I stayed down. I didn't crash out. I thought about all my different options. I could have hurt somebody the way I was feeling, but no. Where was that going to put me? I just got my entire life back. Let me go ahead and hurt somebody and end up in jail for years and years on end. When God just gave me my life back. I'm good, bro. I'm good. I'll probably make a part 2 of this, maybe, if questions are asked, depending on how this video does on YouTube. I gotta edit this up and everything. It's already long. But if you do sit around for this, hopefully you take something from this, because that's my story. I feel good, boy. I'm happy. Like, I can't not be happy, bro. Got my entire life back. I've been doing better, glowing better, feeling better, smelling better, walking better, talking better. I feel like a genius, bro, the way I feel. But yeah, I'll make a part 2 if people ask questions and stuff like that. We could definitely deep dive a little bit more, but I just feel like that story had to come out. More story times on the way, more funny story times on the way. This one was very serious, I know, but still try to make light of it. Again, I'm healed. I can talk about this, and I can say that I built a better me off of this situation. So you can do it. It's okay. I'm 25 now. Internet will have you thinking that's old. I don't care. I was in a relationship for the past who knows how long, and then all this stuff happened. I feel 21 again, bro. I don't care. I got my entire life back. If 25 is old, then you're gonna have to call me old. I don't care. But no matter how old you are, whatever you're going through, I promise, change your mindset. Really think about the outcomes. And if you can't allow the outside to ruin in here, that happens to a lot of people. A lot of good people are ruined because they let the outside ruin the true them. Don't. Stay nice. Stay good. Real recognizes real. That's factual. The amount of people that have tried to come back into my life because they realized I was that solid ass dude. Hey, this video is already long enough. I'm gonna go ahead and edit this up and stuff, and we just gonna post it. Real recognize real. Peace.